Hello, everyone, and welcome to the playoffs for EGF Season 1 in Rocket League. Today, we are in the second semifinal between the Kaynor Tech Panthers and the Notre Green Knights. If you missed the action earlier, the Woodstock Academy Centaurs booked their trip to Yukon for the live finals with a victory over Manchester Esports 3-0. I want to thank our sponsors, the Yukon Gaming Club, the Yukon School of Engineering, HyperX, and Controller Chaos for making this season possible. Be sure to check out their links below and also check out the MVP vote that we're having because we want to determine who has been performing the best. So type !MVP to get in on that action. And my name is Nick Vodible Ambrozic, and I am joined again by
Digital Bacon.
Well, welcome back, Bacon. That was a pretty good series we had for the first one. What are you most expecting out of these two teams coming into this one? This is the third and the second seeded team going into these semifinals.
Yeah, this is looking to be a much more even game between the Panthers and the Green Knights. For me, I'm expecting young Barco to really start popping off, and that one guy, that's literally his name. He's going to be trying to match him on up. Already underway here, Vod. Panthers off to a flying start with Barco trying to set up a teammate. He did set up, but that one guy, I said to watch out for these two. They're already proving me right.
Yeah, it's going to be great to see that one guy kind of step up to the plate. We saw Pogo Logo last week perform fairly well against their opponents, but unfortunately, he's not joining us for this game specifically. We do have Hunter, Untitled, and that one guy on the Green Knights, and Young Barcode, Eclipse, and Scorch Blaze on the Panthers. So it'll be interesting if the Green Knights can kind of come back because they did face a loss against the Panthers. I believe 2 losses against them. So maybe they'll be able to make up for it in this one.
That one guy being able to get this away to the side of Calypso. Can just pick this up for a nice little dribble, slowing the game down. Uh-oh, that's a whiff. One guy picking it up, gets blocked out by Young Barcode. Hunters and Untitled double committing into that attack. Scorch is looking to push this away. You're seeing these two teams now, Vod, they're really getting comfortable with that midfield.
Yeah, and that's great to see, especially from the Green Knights. Before, what we saw a lot out of them, and especially Untitled, is he was just sitting in net playing that goalkeeper position. But now it's been left up to Hunters to stay on that defensive line and kind of keep their backs prepared for whenever there's any offensive pressure from the Panthers. And so far, it's actually worked out well for them. Typically, we see a goal scored at this point.
Yeah, Panthers playing with a really ultra defensive style by leaving that player on back in goal. You can see Green Knights doing the exact same. This is quite an odd little matchup. You don't see this in mainstream Rocket League. Oof, nearly. That was a bit of a Monker-esque moment there.
Yeah, very close one for the Green Knights. Unfortunately, couldn't secure that goal. But as you were mentioning, not typically what you see in the mainstream Rocket League. Maybe a few years ago, you'd see one player stay back, but it is working well for these guys, I guess you could say, as no one's really scored. But maybe if they were more offensive and kind of all played around each other and rotated, it might work out just a little bit better for them to secure that first goal.
Yeah, this is definitely providing me with flashbacks to Season 1 here, Vod. Back then being top 100, you would see even the pros at the time do this sort of strategy. It's weird how Rocket League has come a long way and how the natural sort of like movement back there for these teams that are trying to get to grips with competitive Rocket League, and it just seems like a natural sort of place considering you're relating hockey and normal football to this. Clips unfortunately not being able to get through with that ball. Trying to get the front flip for the back pass, wasn't successful, but Scorched is back. One guy not being able to get it Untitled into the crossbar, down but not in. Hunter's providing a bit of pressure there. Ball's just going to linger through to the middle. Young Barcode on a charge.
I am loving this aggression from the Green Knights as well. Even though the Panthers have been pushing them back and trying to go for those counterattacks, still hasn't been enough. And the Green Knights almost able to edge it out and get that first goal time and time again. They're just waiting for their moment for the defense to crack.
Clips up and over. That is a nice movement down to the mid, and he gets a great 50-50. Scorched needed for this as he sets up towards the center for Young Barcode. You can see as well, Young Barcode isn't afraid to come on out. He knows when he's got to move downfield to provide a little bit of extra support to his teammates.
Ooh. Eclipse was able to get that offensive attack because of that support we've seen from Young Barcode and Scorch Blaze. And he's getting those booming clears as well. If he can follow them up and be fairly confident with these challenges, he might be able to secure in there. Scorch Blaze on the rotation, able to get the first goal after 4 minutes in this first game.
Yeah, this was a scrambled defense and a half as Young Barcode was looking so menacing coming in for that attack. The defense of Green Knights didn't quite know what he wanted to do, tried to cover all the bases. The problem is all three of them went for it, Vod, and that left the goal open afterwards for Scorch to come on through.
Yeah, you could say Young Barcode parted the Red Sea for Scorch to come in and score that goal. But they still have 48 seconds to come back, and from what we've seen, it's definitely a possibility for the Green Knights to at least get themselves on the board in this first game for the best-of-5 semifinal. And there might be the chance there, but no, that one guy just a little bit early on his challenge.
Vital opportunity missed there. Untitled, going to try keep this pressure going. Now, Green Knights, they need to really start aggressing onto this. They're down to the last 20 seconds. Not a single goal to their name. As soon as they can get one, they're back into it. They'll send it to overtime. The ball is in front of their opponent's net. Double commit.
Oh, come on. You got to go on title. Go, no.
Oh, Young Barco keeping his cool, making sure that ball does not find the net. This could be one vital moment.
That's it.
Looking, yeah.
Oh.
Panthers hold on to that 1-goal lead, and they're taking game 1.
And that shows how close these two teams really are. We saw similar play styles from both of them. It was just that the Panthers were more accurate with their challenges. They had more shots, true, but the Green Knights had more pressure as well. They just weren't able to put as many of the shots on net. And Untitled there too, hesitant to go for that challenge. He had nothing to lose because they would have lost the game anyway if they were down, and that's what ended up happening. But we will go to a quick break and we'll be right back with the second game in this best-of-5 series.
Back into game 2 here, Panthers versus Green Knights. If you're just joining us, Panthers took game 1. 1 goal was all it took there, Vodible. What do you expect to see from Green Knights coming into game 2, though?
I expect to see more out of that one guy, as we mentioned. He's been the main aggressor for the Green Knights, going all the way into the defensive end, trying to disrupt that defense and keep it there for as long as possible. And then his teammates, Untitled and Hunters, just supporting him as best as they can. And maybe if they're a little bit more confident in their play, like we saw towards the end, they might be able to get the first goal. And that would be all they would need, because there's only a 1-goal game in the last one. And oh, it's so close again from getting that first goal.
Yep, you're starting to see it now come out from the Green Knights. They're not leaving that last man back in the fence. They know if they want to get a goal, they've got to get a follow-through hit. That's popping up and over one guy on the charge. Not going to be able to force the ball, as that was well taken off to the corner.
Yeah, and he just didn't have too many. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh. As Scooby-Doo once said, rut-row raggy. Hunter's just able to get a goal out of such a whoopsie moment.
That was, I don't think they expected that at all, especially because of how much he like pushed that over top of Eclipse. It was like a pseudo dunk block sort of thing where he got it past him, and the defense just was not ready for that kind of play to happen from the Green Knights. Now they're finding themselves up by 1, potentially could be up by 2. They keep this up.
Young Barcode Getting blocked out by that one guy. Scorched, going to be able to follow through. This is the ones and twos you need. Hunters, keeping his cool. Didn't get enough pressure from his opponents, though. Eclipse with the slight pop. Well done by Hunters to get that way. Untitled backflip, but no connection. Young Barco going high with Eclipse following on through. One guy going for a little bit of a solo play. Again, no hit on the ball, so Eclipse is going to keep this pressure going with a help from friends.
Ooh, and that's still not enough to keep the Green Knights down for too long. But no, the triple commit. We did see them coming out of their defense and not leaving that one man back, but they can't put everything at the ball if they want to hold on to this lead. But maybe that's just what they need to overtake the Panthers, who have been going for that more defensive style in the second game.
Yeah, well, you've got to be bold to win it. Risk can sometimes lead to reward. Green Knights definitely being a great advocate for it. Hunter's coming on in now, gets it past one. That's in front of them. Untitled getting blocked out by Eclipse. Good marking from him. That's dropping down though. In front of the net. Untitled not going to be able to get it. Hunter's coming on through, but Scorched is there first. Getting that over to the wall. Eclipse now starting a counter as that's into the corner. Popped up into the air. Eclipse wanting to push this a little bit more. Barcode setting up another play, but look at that back in goal. Scorched Earth ready for this counter, but he should have been up there right in the mix as he gets a runaway.
What a counterattack from Scorched Blaze. You saw Untitled coming, you saw him botch that setup, and Hunter and that one guy were both grouped up on the right wing, and unfortunately could not get back in time. Scorched just taking that all the way home to even things up, and a great way to get back into the second game.
Well, Notre Dame, they left the door open, and Panthers, they're happily going to walk on through it. Tying up the game. 2 minutes left here, Vodible. It's looking like even Stevens could last right on through to overtime. Hunters on the ball. Everyone will want to break this truce. They're going to want to take
Eclipse.
the lead. Dribble from Eclipse, but Hunters not going to be able to be faked out for that last movement.
That was good because he faked out the other two defenders, and they're only sending one person up at a time, the Panthers, to try and break past all three of them because they've noticed how much the Green Knights overcommit on a lot of these plays, and they don't need to sacrifice the safety of their defensive line being defended from what we've seen. So maybe if they're a little bit more aggressive, they'd be able to secure that goal, but so far, whatever they've been trying has been paying off, and they couldn't get the save.
Core position coming out here from the Green Knights, both in midfield. Untitled turning around there, Vod. You don't turn around in midfield. You keep rotating back to goal, don't you?
Yeah, that's the best way to make sure your net is secured from these kind of breakaway moments that we're seeing from the Panthers. And they've been so deadly against the Green Knights where they haven't had an answer. And their answer shouldn't be just to leave one person back like we see now. They need to just keep on that open rotation, have one person go, one person in the midfield, and then one person rotating back every time. And then they'd be able to capitalize on a lot of these challenges.
Yeah, by that rotation, you literally mean it rotates. Think of it as a triangle weapon at home. That's where you mix up your positionings. You don't have one player as a goalie. That goalie comes out, becomes the striker. It's just simple Rocket League 101. Definitely say look it up on YouTube, as it is an interesting subject indeed. Hunter's getting some good blocks out here as Scorched Blaze making his way downfield, not going to allow that to be stopped. Young Barcode, unfortunately, not going to be able to get it. And look, Eclipse is still back there. He's just waiting patiently. Panthers are wanting just hold on to a 1-goal victory here, Vod.
And that's all they need at this point with 15 seconds on the clock and all this defensive pressure going well for them. They don't need to change up their strategy at all. And the Green Knights have just been crumpling to the, oh my goodness, to this power that we've seen from the Panthers.
Yeah, Eclipse here, near enough being assisted by that one guy. Scorched Blaze, seeing the opportunity, lunges at it. Drops the ball into the net. 5 seconds remaining. That's 3-1 to the Panthers. And that's got to be game 2.
100% at this point. Unfortunately, the Green Knights, even though we've seen so much improvement from them, they've never been known to really keep it this close with the Panthers when they've played them in the past. And I'm really seeing some crazy improvement from Untitled because he's always staying in net, not doing anything other than defending. But now he's been more confident. He's been pushing out, going into that rotation with the rest of his teammates. And it's been great to see that improvement with all of these teams.
Yep, definitely. Well, guys, we're going to be heading on over to a short break whilst we get the next game set on up. Don't go anywhere because it will be game 3. Match point here. Panthers, can they take it with a sweep like we saw from the Centaurs? We'll see you after this little break. Game 3 is afoot here, Vodible. We're coming down to EGFH Stadium for it. This lovely little sunset going on as these Octanes are just absolutely going head to head. Can't forget that interceptor from the one guy who's on the ball right now, but a brilliant block there from Eclipse to send it downfield.
Ooh, that was a very risky play as well from the Green Knights, but it ended up paying off for them. And this quick aggression might just be what they need to kind of catch the Panthers off guard. But even then, they're still only sending one person up and scoring the first goal. This is what we're used to seeing from the Panthers.
Well, Scorch blazing on into the lead. It only took him 25 seconds, and he got his goal. Right place at the right time, you feel here, Vod.
Oh, yeah. The perfect placement for that and the perfect positioning as well. Not much more you could say about how well the Panthers have been performing against the Green Knights. A lot of P's in there, but we might see even more points being scored by them in the last few minutes of this game.
Oh, young Barcode not communicating properly with Scorch, as that was nearly so dangerous. Scorch does make up with it with that demo, though. Hunter's just going to keep the ball into his opponent's end, not letting it leave. Good block there by that one guy. Untitled coming on in. We'll start moving this towards the center, looking for a teammate, but whew, that clear.
It's good to see the Green Knights actually leaving a man or two back at the midfield line when they are challenging, so that they're not giving it their all and overcommitting on offense like they are right now. But oh my goodness, it pays off. Untitled getting his first goal, tying the game up, really stepping up to the plate.
Yep, Untitled here going across goal, tucking that behind young Barcode, who just could not reach that as hard as he tried. That's tied up the game. 3 minutes, 51 remaining. I'm going to see that one guy go up against Scorch once again. Hunter's getting that nicely away, but a bit of time for his team to regroup. But that one guy and Untitled colliding. Hunters are going to really save their butts there.
And they need to save their butts as much as possible to keep themselves alive in this semifinal. They need to get a full reverse sweep to make it all the way to those live finals at UConn and face off against the Woodstock Academy Centaurs, who already 3-0'd their own team. So they don't want the same thing to happen to them.
Well, here I'm feeling it, Vodible. Green Knights, they have it in them to be able to pull off that reverse sweep. It just comes down to those jitters for them, don't you agree?
100%, especially a lot of these teams aren't as experienced with playing and having a live audience watching them. So this is huge for them to kind of step up to the plate, show that even in these scenarios, they can remain calm and composed, because once they go to those live finals, it'll be a completely different playing field.
Untitled and Hunters showing that 2 players is not better than one. That really pulled things on out there. Nearly a disruption in their plays. Good clear though from Hunters as young Barcode now trying to bring it back on in. Can't find a way through this wall. Defenders though.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, the wall of defenders is just the greatest way to describe that too, because of how strong they've been, but no, they go over top of the wall. Eclipse just popping that over top the last defender and into the goal for the lead.
Yeah, Wolves can only go ever so high. Eclipse knowing that. Can't go through it, can't go under it, can't go around, so he's going to go above. Clever play there, and Panthers, once again, we've seen it time and time again throughout this series. They're ahead.
Oof. This is a very dangerous position for them to be in. Oh my goodness, almost getting that shot too. Green Knights barely able to hold on. They need to get this offensive going for themselves. Break past this defense any way they can. Maybe go for some more demos. We haven't really seen too much of that play, and the disruptive power of the demos is huge for these teams to use to their advantage.
Yeah, we definitely saw it in the Centaurs versus Manchester game, how demos can really shape up and sometimes even misshape a whole game. Bring that on out and it can just mess up what your opponents want to do, and then buy yourself some time to be able to reformulate an attack or a defense. That one guy sent it up the wall. Clips coming off very nicely. That is going to be on target. Oh, that one guy always quick to get back into the fence.
Yeah, and he's just going to try and stay up there. Couldn't finish that one and keep it in the midfield, but they're playing more defensive. The Green Knights, they have 1 minute remaining for them to stay alive in this semifinal for the playoffs. They need to give it their all. They can't afford to just have everyone just waiting back there, because they will be taken advantage of by the Panthers.
52 seconds remaining. Crunch time now for Green Knights. They lose this game and they are not going through to the finals. They want that ticket to UConn. Eclipse might be able to buy another goal as that's passed into the centre for Young Barco, but blocked away by Hunters. Well done, Eclipse. Going to try and keep that pressure. Neither player can get to it. Untitled, he's done big stuff throughout this series. Not big enough there, however, is Scorched Earth good on these counters. Trying to link up with Barcode here, kept away once again by Hunters, who is such a strong defender for this Green Knight side.
Yeah, that's been huge. Even though they don't have their main player, which I believe was, I forget who the player is, Pogo Logo, on the field, who was the main goal scorer, they do sub him out for a big defender. So maybe in the future seasons, just experimenting with that lineup might help them out a bit more, because they looked a lot stronger in this series against the Panthers than the previous ones that we've seen. But the Panthers did manage to earn that ticket to those Alive finals.
Yeah, definitely feeling like Green Knights' lack there was a dedicated striker, someone that is comfortable going upfield. As that one guy, he had some good attempts there, but unfortunately his priority, his foray, was that midfield, wasn't it, Vod?
100%. And we saw Entitled try to step up to the plate. He did get that goal. He was a lot more aggressive and felt more comfortable in that. Maybe it's just a lack of experience. So in the off season, it'd be huge for them to kind of like scrim these teams, practice a bit more, maybe look at some YouTube videos on like the kind of styles that the typical professionals do, and maybe try to learn a bit from that.
Well, let's hope they also learn a little bit from that, because this is it for today. We're going to be going on over to the finals on the 28th. So guys, thank you for tuning on into the semifinals. The Centaurs and the Panthers will be going on through to those finals, like I said, on the 28th of April, live from UConn. With the semifinals on the way, tomorrow will be League of Legends starting at 3 p.m. and Thursday will be Overwatch as well. You can follow us at official EGF on Twitter and Twitch for updates and announcements. This season wouldn't be possible without support from our sponsors, the UConn Gaming Club, the UConn School of Engineering, HyperX, and Controller Chaos. Thank you so much for making this season possible. Be sure to check out their links below. We're also holding an MVP vote. Type !MVP on in chat. You can see it there to get involved in the action. I've been Digital Bacon. You can find me here on Twitch at Digital Bacon Gaming and Twitter at Digital Bacon1. Vod, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitch and Twitter, other places at Vodible, or just Go to my website, vodible.info, has all that info there for you guys. Thank you guys for tuning into this broadcast and joining us, and we will see you next time.